Ladies and gentlemen, my first guests tonight are a bright, young writing team with loads of potential. Please welcome James Patterson and President Bill Clinton. Please, sir. Sirs, please, sirs. Welcome to the Ed Sullivan Theater. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert.
Oh, that's who you are.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Mr. Patterson.
Thank you, thank you.
First time we've spoken. Mr. President, we've talked many times before. Always good to have a conversation. I always enjoy it. Do you enjoy it?
I do. I think you got a real future in this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think you do, too. Now, you guys have been on the book tour. How long have you been doing this book tour so far?
Second day.
Second day?
Yeah.
Well, it's been an eventful 2 days so far.
Yeah, it's moving along good.
I noticed, I watched you on the Today Show yesterday morning. I noticed you didn't enjoy that entire interview. I want you to enjoy this one, but I do want to ask you something, which is, when I got home last night, on the CNN, they had a lower third banner that said something about William Clinton's tone-deaf response to the question from the Today Show. My question is, would you like a do-over on that answer? Do you understand why some people thought that was a tone-deaf response to his questions about the Me Too movement and how you might reflect on your behavior 20 years ago and how that reflection may change based on what you've learned through the Me Too movement?
Yeah, you know, when I saw the interview, I thought that because they had to, distill it. And it looked like I was saying I didn't apologize and I had no intention to. And I was mad at me.
Well, you said in the interview that you did apologize. You said
yes,
you apologized in the interview.
I did. And they showed a film clip finally. But here's what I want to say. It wasn't my finest hour, but the important thing is that was a very painful thing that happened 20 years ago, and I apologize to my family, to Monica Lewinsky and her family, to the American people. I meant it then, I meant it now. I've had to live with the consequences every day since. And I still believe this Me Too movement is long overdue, necessary, and should be supported. And we should all... And I'd like to think that we're all getting better as we go along.
Here's the other thing. I've spent a year now with President Clinton, and I went in liking him. But in that year, I found he's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being. And he spent his whole life trying to do good things for this country. And since he's been out of the presidency with the foundation, he's done incredible things for all around the world.
Well, I would agree. I would agree with you. If I could... I would think some of the reason why people saw that interview and thought that it was tone-deaf, or whatever word they wanted to use, is that you seemed surprised that that question would come up. That there's somehow that this had all been adjudicated in the past and there's no reason to talk about it again, when it seems like the spirit of the Me Too movement is that it doesn't matter how long ago it happened. Examples of men who were not held accountable for their behavior, especially men in power, with younger women or people who worked for them, is worthy of being re-adjudicating or adjudicating for the first time, no matter how long ago it happened. And so it seemed tone-deaf to me because you seemed offended to be asked about this thing when, in all due respect, sir, your behavior was the most famous example of a powerful man sexually misbehaving in the workplace of my lifetime. And so it doesn't seem surprising that the question would be asked. Why are you surprised?
No, the question had been asked.
By him?
No, by other people, in this context.
The Me Too context?
Yes, and I didn't mind at all. But I didn't like this one because it started with an assertion that basically I had never apologized, as if I had never tried to come to grips with it, and as if there had been no attempt to hold me accountable, which anybody who lived through that and knew the facts knew wasn't so. Nonetheless, I realized, hey, there are a lot of people that don't have any memory of that, and all they saw was me mad, and I seemed to be tone deaf, to put it mildly. So last night when I was at my event, we did an event in Harlem with Walter Mosley. I asked to say something about it because I think it's important. People need to know. I apologize. I meant it then. I mean it now. I've lived with the consequences, and I still support Me Too. And I think we all need to keep trying to be doing better. And I would never dispute that.
The New York Times reported that the Democrats are not reaching out to you in 2018 to run because of the taint of your past experience with Monica Lewinsky in the light of the new Me Too movement. Is that true, and are you frustrated by it?
If it is, I don't know, because normally I don't do anything in primaries. I try to stay out of primaries. If it is, I'd be grateful to stay out of the primaries. But look, I think it's amazing to have the question asked. I've been out of the White House for 18 years. I don't.
But you're a big gun. I mean, they send you out there.
Well, I've pretty had a
like the cavalry
effort.
at times.
It is, but I'll just see. I don't know. A lot of people have called and asked if I do something when I can. But on the other hand, when I was a governor, I never had anybody come in for me. So, and never wanted it. So everything's different now. And we'll just see what happens. I just want them, what I want to say is these midterm elections are important, and the only people that really matter are not me, it's you. And one of the main reasons, let me make this clear, one of the main reasons this country is as polarized as it is that ever since the Gingrich Revolution, right, we started... 94. And we started having Republicans move hard to the right, and then redistricting, everybody worries more about the primary. Is the penalty for Democrats voting more in presidential elections and midterms has gone way up, because most of the governors, most of the legislatures, the people who run the election, the secretaries of state, all the members of the House of Representatives, and a third of the Senate are elected in every midterm. And President Obama, I think he did a really good job, but I think he could have done even more if all of us who voted in 2008 and 2012 for him had also voted in 2010 and 2014. And I think that...
And 2016.
Yeah. Well, 2016 they had Vladimir in there messing with it a little bit too, but I think the...
I've never heard anybody call him Vladimir before. Don't make him sound friendly. Don't make him sound friendly.
But anyway, remember that, folks. Don't let any of these articles take the election away from you. Only thing that really matters is you. Keep in mind, Virginia elected a transgender Democrat to a Republican seat in the state legislature because she said, I don't want you to vote for me because I'm transgender. I don't want you to vote against me because I'm transgender. I want you to vote for me because you can't get to and from work. My opponent won't do anything about it, and I'll help you get to work on time, get home to see your kids. That's what we need to be doing up here.
We got to take a little bit of a break. We'll be right back with more Bill Clinton and James Patterson. Stick around, everybody.